What's up, everybody? Welcome to After the Bell here on the Constantine Studios YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys had a nice weekend. I certainly did, although I got deep fried in a crisper known as Angel Stadium. The Angels came out on top over the Dodgers. They took the Freeway Series. They took the overall season series, which means both Freeway Series. I don't know how to say that. There you go. Anyway, Angels came out on top, much to Mama Taylor's chagrin. But it is what it is. Okay.
Light that halo up!
That's right. I shouted the tour. Didn't like it very much. Alright.
Sunburned too.
We all got sunburned. You got tan. Shut up. The fair-skinned boys got sunburned. Alright, this is from okay, before I get to the questions sent in from YouTube and the various pages, I'm letting you know there's a question on here from our fan Sean Proctor. It's asked to both of us. We're going to address it soon, hopefully. He wants to know our dream card with 10 matches, at least one tag team, and anybody in their prime. Like, didn't we do this already?
Oh, we did.
If not, we definitely did the top 10 or the roster.
I know we did our fantasy matchups when we were in Vegas.
Yeah. So it's like, I appreciate that you guys want to hear what we would do if we could alter the course of history, or pull a Doc Brown and pluck people out of their prime or whatever. But it's like, we'll see. How about that? We'll think about it, Sean. How about that?
I think a show like that would be better if it was done CASA-wide, but the whole CASA won't agree to do it.
They don't do it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's more a you and me thing. But again, we've done that. Alright, this is from Ricky Lawson on YouTube. Jeff, do you think Vince McMahon and Hornswoggle were out of line for the Jim Ross segment in which they made fun of his Bell's palsy? I think it was the most disgraceful thing I've ever seen ever since Ed Ferrara impersonated him in WCW. I'm not sure if Hornswoggle was trying to impersonate the Bell's palsy. He was just doing a JR impression. Vince went out of his way to make the face, and I think that was what was out of line. Vince has never made had any problem with picking on JR throughout his WWF WWE tenure in the last 20 years or so. So for us to be all, oh well, Vince, whatever. He's the man that signs the checks at the end of the day. He can do what he wants, and if JR had a problem with it, JR would say something about it. I didn't see his Twitter on Monday, so I don't know. Or whatever it was, SmackDown, whatever Hornswoggle did that. If JR had a problem with it, I would have seen it, or I would have been notified, I'm sure.
I'll bring that up for you.
Go ahead. Yeah, please. You had about 20-something questions to find it. So.
Okay.
All right. Another one from Ricky Lawson, as well as Mr. Tommy Jr. 1989. What are my thoughts on WWE signing Buggy? Bittersweet, but very happy for our girl Buggy. She is in Florida. She's rubbing elbows with Ivelisse from Tough Enough. We saw a picture. We saw her with Raquel Diaz, a.k.a. Shaw Guerrero, who is going to be on the NXT? Yes.
According to Wikipedia.
Aha, and Wiki,
According to Wiki, she will be part of this season's roster.
And she is the current champion in FCW? Yes.
Queen of FCW and FCW Divas champion.
Oh, she still has both?
Yes.
I could have sworn she lost the crown. Okay. Carrying on the fine legacy of the Guerreros. Which also tonight on Raw will have the first of 2 shows this week with Vicky Guerrero in charge. Oh boy. Can you say 2 hours of Dolph Ziggler? Which I have no problem with. Hey, Marathon of Dolph is good by me as long as we win the world title by the end of the night. But as far as Buggy goes, we are very happy here at Constantine for our girl Buggy. We're sad we're losing her, obviously, the various shows we've seen her at, but if she ends up on WWE television and becomes WWE Divas champion with that incredible look she has, that very unique look she has, then we can all sit back and take pride in the fact that we knew her win type thing. So, congratulations, Buggy. Well deserved, well earned. You go, girl. Alright. Mr. SMC 345, Jeff, I was wondering when this show became Stepway Rants.
Whoa, say what?
well, I'm wondering when the show became Stepway Rants because we had the seasoning gimmick in the background.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Hashtag bless you, Jade.
That's right. That is the catchphrase for the channel. Bless you, Jane. All right.
Let's get that trending on Twitter.
Right now. I'll wait. See? Good thing I waited. Oh, man.
I'm having
The
bodily
sneak.
functions I can't help.
Stick a cork in her, folks.
Then I can't help mine at night when I'm sleeping. All right.
We know this.
Yes. Whatever happened to WWE TV? They were making a big deal about it. Now they don't hear it. Oh, you mean the network? I don't know. Has anybody heard anything about the WWE network?
What?
I'll look that up.
Well,
What I have been hearing, the rumor anyways, is that WWE is having a hard time convincing providers to carry the channel.
well, yeah.
People don't think that there's enough interest in the product to warrant its own channel that people are going to pay, 10, 15 bucks a month to subscribe to.
Right.
That's the biggest loophole right now. That's why so many of their shows went free on YouTube, was to try to prove to people, hey, look at how many millions of people were getting to watch this.
Right.
This could be 15 bucks per person in your pocket.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Let's see. The Sparta 1812. How much would it affect the WWF, WWE, if JR had his old job back as Executive Vice President of Talent Relations? I say do it. Warren Ice is gone, but JR doesn't want the job. He's perfectly fine being he's happy being a consultant. He's happy appearing every now and then as an announcer. He doesn't want to, go on the road, do this full-time office stuff anymore. He's very happy doing what he's doing with the barbecue sauce and his things in Oklahoma. I wouldn't want to come back if I had a cushy job like that and getting paid very well.
Even though, the Thunder lost the NBA championship.
Yeah, and, again, yeah. People asking me what on personal what I think about Miami winning out the Lakers. It's like, number one, I'm not a Lakers fan. Number two, I can sit here and rag Miami all I want. At the end of the day, everything that the Lakers aren't, Miami was. They are a team. LeBron did his thing. Wade did his thing. Bosh did his thing. Everybody contributed, and they won the thing, just like my Kings, as a team.
What about Lost, Joey, and Sky? Did they do their thing?
You know what? I heard they were actually watching, and Sky's a Lakers fan. He was all about, oh, we won our first round. Let's go celebrate our first round wins with the Clipper fans. It's like, okay, Sky, jump on the bandwagon, everybody else. You want to. You want to. WWE anime fans, do you see the WWE? Do you see the Phenom returning at Raw 1000? He's got to be on that show. How can he not be on the 1000th episode, a huge milestone like that for Monday Night Raw? How can the Undertaker not appear? If they don't have him on, there's gonna be a huge backswell. It's not gonna make any sense at all.
Is Damien Demento still alive?
Yes.
Very first Raw main event. Revisit it. 1,000 episodes later.
The only problem with Damien Demento is that he's a legit psychopath. If you follow me on the other channel, you know what I'm talking about. So, he and I had a little war of words back and forth because I apparently am some fat pothead supporter just because I had Rob on my show. I interviewed Rob in early 2007. No, 2008. 2 years later, Demento rags on the show. Guy's a nut job. I hope you're watching, Damien. Please go off on me again and give me some more 15 minutes of fame. Please, go ahead. Not that I wanted to give you more years, but, because you're crazy. Alright, this is from Scott Hall Razor, the same guy that missed his flight on Saturday. Is Brock Lesnar on steroids? The man is incredibly big. I just started weightlifting and I want to look like him, so should I take them so I can be a beast just like Brock? Please answer. Don't take steroids. Don't take steroids. You want to look like Brock? Go to the gym. Have a protein drink or two. Do cardio stuff. Do weightlifting. Don't juice it up. You want to be a crazy man like Brock? Do the juice. Go for it. Don't take steroids. That's stupid.
Got your answer
Which one?
about Hornswoggle.
Okay.
Someone tweeted to him saying, McMahon showing Hornswoggle how to do a Jim Ross voice, that was hilarious. JR responded, imitation, sincerest flattery.
Ah, okay. Well, see, he doesn't care. If Jared doesn't care, I don't care.
And neither should you.
No. Like,
You're welcome.
it's the whole Brett Scoop Brett thing. It's like, if Brett can get over it after lying in his book, he'll never turn into the storyline or whatever. He can hug Shawn Michaels on camera and have the storyline with Vince over Montreal and get paid all that money. We should get over it. Seriously. JR doesn't give a shit, neither should you. Okay. Where was I at here? I forgot. Anyway, the Lucas 316. What do you think the World Heavyweight WWE Championship and one of the main event will be at SummerSlam this year? And if Barrett doesn't return, who will win Money in the Bank ladder match for Raw and SmackDown? Jeez, throw 5 questions at me at once there, why don't you? Jesus. Rock and Triple H is going to be main event at SummerSlam. That's almost a lock. Hasn't been confirmed, but you know, whatever. Probably the Big Show and CM Punk is what we're hearing for the WWE Championship. And as far as the World Championship, it really depends what happens with Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler and Alberto, and that one's up in the air. I really don't know. As far as Money in the Bank, Barrett, I think, is supposed to be back by Money in the Bank, so he should be in there, which would put him in the SmackDown Money in the Bank match, if I remember right. The Raw Money in the Bank, the Money in the Bank matches are always a toss-up. I have a hard time calling those until they're actually, the guys are in place. Once they're in place, I can give a better prediction. And you can watch that prediction show from Long Beach Clothing Company, coming up soon. The oh, Jesus Christ. The Rezinski, good grief. Damn YouTube names. I'd like to know what you think about AJ. I think this gimmick is pretty good. I think she is pretty hot. I was talking to our homeboy Bruce when he came in the other night. AJ's my favorite diva in the company right now. I know JJ's very partial to Natalya, and you know, and I amended my statement that the diva, my favorite diva that's on TV more than once every 3 months. Because Natty's still got our hearts, no pun intended. You know, Beth's right up there, but AJ is more visible on TV right now than the Divas freaking champion. Layla was out there Monday night last week to introduce Cyndi Lauper, Wendy Richter. AJ's out there involved in the WWE Championship storyline. Like, you can't, you know, it makes no sense to me. But AJ is definitely my favorite, and she can rock a halter top and a pair of Daisy Dukes like nobody I've ever seen, even Jessica Simpson or the original Daisy Duke. Nice. Alright, to tell Godzilla Star. Where do you guys come up with these nicknames on YouTube? Seriously. I don't understand them. What wrestlers outside TNA and WWE do you think should go to TNA or WWE? Oh, God, do we have an hour? Seriously. Jack Evans, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, you know, Roderick Strong, Davey Richards, Kevin Steen, if he, you know, lessens the gimmick goof down a little bit. He's very intense, but he's still got a goofy side to him. You know, there's so many guys out there that should be there, and there's so many guys there in both companies that shouldn't be there. So there's a lot of flip-flopping and forth that can be done, no question about that. Another one from this to tell Godzilla Star. When do you think Paul Heyman will go into the Hall of Fame? Soon. You know, Paulie will probably be the first, you know, one of the first ECW guys. I mean, Terry Funk's already in, you know, things like that. But one of the true ECW originals that contributed more to ECW than they did to WWE or WCW. Paulie will be in there. Which Hall of Fame do you think Bischoff will get inducted to first? TNA's or WWE's? WWE's. I mean, Bischoff, you know, they're going to induct TNA folks that have like contributed on camera, not just mainly off. Because Bischoff's contributions as producer of Impact and everything, executive producer, have been very, very evident. But Bischoff, the character on TNA, wouldn't be in a Hall of Fame at all. It was horrible. And last, if TNA and WWE somehow go out of business, how would they combine the two Hall of Fames? No. And they're not going to go out of business. Not going to happen. All right, the final one from you two. Let's see. What do you think of the new NXT, and who impressed you most in the first episode? I've not seen it, sir.
Probably Bo Dallas, Bo Rotundo,
Mm-hmm.
and the Ascension tag team.
Ooh.
Both of those really, really impressed me.
Is it still online?
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to watch that before Raw tonight. All right, this one is from the Facebook fan page. We got a few of these here today. Spider Jones, what do you think TNA needs to change for their ratings to increase? Honestly, I don't know, because they're doing a very, very good job these days. Their product's good. They've got the right talent. They've got the right mixture of Hulk's involvement and the X Division, and the tag teams are getting a little bit better. They've got a good crop of knockouts. I don't know why people aren't watching Impact. I find myself wanting to watch Impact again. I don't know what it is that the general wrestling fan is not tuning in to see. I don't get it. I like Impact. Impact often has been better than Raw or SmackDown recently. Lance Storm has even been saying, on Twitter that that Impact's been doing better than both WWE programs on TV. So, I like it, and I think you guys should seriously give Impact another chance. If you have in the past and have given up, go back into it. Go back and watch since the first live broadcast this year, and and watch the gut checks and the open fight nights. Those have been great. Matt Wise Guy Wise. Who's better overall, Shawn Michaels or Hulk Hogan? It's apples and oranges. Shawn Michaels is a great technical wrestler, a great high flyer, a great all-around performer. He can talk a blue streak and he can wrestle to back it up. Hulk Hogan's moveset, makes John Cena's look like, Olympic gold medalists. But Hulk Hogan is Hulk Hogan. He's one of the greatest talkers of all time. His presence captivates like nobody else ever has, ever. Even Steve Austin, even The Rock, even those guys. I know, you back, whatever. It's like, yeah, I can't hear you, cripple. Okay, over there every 2 seconds. I get you don't like Hogan, but you can't. Even you said you can't deny his presence. You can't deny his, what he's done. So comparing Shawn Michaels to Hulk Hogan, it's like comparing, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. They're both the greatest of all time at what they contributed to the business. But, it's really hard to compare those guys. Another one from Matt. Do you think AJ will ever go to the WWE? I honestly don't think he will. AJ Styles has said more than once that he got his feet wet in the WWE waters and he didn't like what he felt. And that's why he sticks with TNA. And that's why he's been their guy for 10 years. Lord Volkos, my favorite Star Trek villain. What do you think of AJ being pushed like the Harley Quinn of the WWE? Me personally, I love it, but what are your thoughts? Would you say that's accurate? I mean, you're more of a comic book and superhero and thing like that than me. Would it be a fair comparison to compare Harley to AJ?
I think so. You look at how Harley stalks her Joker and loves her Joker, and at least for right now, she's doing that with both Punk, who's a confessed comic geek, and Kane,
often confused with Batman on Twitter.
And Kane, who's, a psychopath a la the Joker.
Right.
I can totally see the comparison.
Yeah. I mean, Harley, if you've only seen Harley on the TV show, you haven't seen everything. Because Harley Quinn in the comic books, she is one twisted bitch. And if you read the, what was it she was in? Was she in the Killing Game where Joker paralyzed Barbara? Was she part of that? If I remember right, she's legit nuts. And AJ's character definitely compares to Harley if you look at the dynamic between Punk and Kane right now. Definitely, I definitely agree with that assessment. Thank you, Jay. Brian Wilson, what do you think of the rumors of Metallica playing at SummerSlam? I had not heard this.
Me neither.
Anybody else heard this?
Don't know nothing about it.
Wow. Makes me want to buy my ticket now. Makes me want to go see SummerSlam. Cool. I mean, they're probably gonna jack prices up like $20-$30 a ticket if Metallica's playing there, because you know. But it'd be cool to see a live performance or two from Metallica at a WWE show. I don't see the reason why. It would be better to have them perform at WrestleMania to introduce, to have the Hell in a Cell come in, but you know, maybe that's the Hell in a Cell theme now. Maybe they're going to have that Hell in a Cell match at Summer. Well, no, because they have the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, so they can't do that. I don't know. We'll see what happens with SummerSlam. If it happens, great. That'd be cool. Pope Brandon Brownson. I have questions for you pertaining to Money in the Bank. First question is, do you think, since there really isn't much of a brand split anymore due to the Super Show aspect, there should still be a Money in the Bank match for each show? I think that there should be a one Money in the Bank match, which is what you said here. Money in the Bank should definitely be a one-time match. One briefcase. That way you don't have a clue what's going to happen. We all knew Miz was going to cash in on WWE Champion. We all knew Alberto was going to cash in on the WWE Champion. We all knew Bryan was going to cash in on the World Heavyweight Champion. That takes the fun out of it. If you have one briefcase for the entire company, somebody can change brands and look at Punk when he cashed in. Look at Edge when he cashed in. When Edge originally won the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 21, it was on Raw. It was a Raw briefcase, and it was for the World Championship. When the title switched, Edge got a shot at John Cena instead of the WWE Championship. Edge won the briefcase on Raw in 2007 for Mr. Kennedy, and then jumped to SmackDown the next night and won it from The Undertaker, the World Heavyweight Championship. You just don't know what's going to happen. There's only one briefcase. If there's two, the surprise element's gone. True, you don't know when the guy's going to cash in, but you know what title he's going to cash in for. I say shrink it down. 3 guys from each brand. Throw an NXT guy in there, too. Hell, give them something to do. And also, and I'm sorry if you talked about this recently and I can't recall right now, who would you put the 2 briefcases on? Personally, my picks would be Dolph Ziggler, and if he's well enough, Wade Barrett. If Barrett's still hurt, I'd go with Cody, hands down. Took words right out of my mouth, pretty much. I was going to say Dolph, and I thought, you know what? Dolph is good enough to earn it on his own. Dolph's in that spotlight now. He's in that main event slot. He's been facing Sheamus recently. Give him the shot and give him the goal without having to cash it in. But Wade Barrett and Cody Rhodes are definitely 2 great picks. Wade Barrett has been in that spotlight before. He's been in the main event before. Hasn't won the championship. Give him the element of surprise. Or give it to Cody. Cody, again, you and I have talked about this, that Cody might not be there yet. But if you put the briefcase on him and have him run with that like they did with Miz for a few months, then build it up so by the time he cashes it in, it's go time. David Shipman. Hey Jeff, I recently heard that after years of trying, WWE finally was able to purchase the video library of Mid-South UWF. With all the legends that got their big break there, do you think WWE should put out a Rise and Fall type DVD set? No. And that's going to probably surprise a lot of people, but at the end of the day, the Mid-South UWF Federation that was ran by Bill Watts, not Herb Abrams UWF, which you read about in Mick Foley's book, and which, my old boss's dad worked for back in the day. The Mid-South company, UWF, had risen and fallen before there was even a WCW. They were gone by 1987. And WCW bought them, and then WCW bought Jim Crockett. Jim Crockett brought UWF, and then it became WCW after that. So I don't think there's a need to do a rise and fall of the UWF Mid-South, because they did the story of WCW. We know it would just be, it wouldn't appeal to the modern fan, I don't think. I mean, old fogies like me that like the UWF and like to see stuff like that, maybe, but for the casual current WWE DVD buying fan, it wouldn't appeal, I don't think. Maybe that's my opinion.
I think it would appeal as much as the Triumph and Tragedy of World Class, and they did that one. I
think World Class appealed a little bit more, only because
The Von Erichs and the Freebirds?
The Von Erichs and the Freebirds type thing, and the fact that the Von Erichs were such a loved entity. The Von Erich, even outside of Texas, everybody loved Kerry and Kevin and
But what
David.
did the modern age fan have to give two shits about the Von Erichs for? Just providing the counter argument.
Right, and I understand what you're saying. I think World Class's story makes for a more compelling DVD because it is so tragic. At the end of the day, Kevin's it. Everybody else died one tragic way or another, either suicide, or overdose, or cancer in the case of Fritz. That whole family has just been one big wrestling tragedy, and it's a shame. And the company mirrored the tragedy of the family. The UWF, Bill Watts went in over his head at the end of the day, and Jim Crockett swallowed him up, and then that ended up killing Jim Crockett at the end of the day. So that's that story in a nutshell.
Okay.
Corey Osborne, big fan of your show, Jeff. Here's my question: what people would you like to see at the 1000th Raw? Go Kings. They're going to Vegas. So am I. So is JJ. In the 1000th Raw, I want to see as many people as they can squeeze in that 3 hours and not bore me to death. I don't want to see, freaking Barry Horowitz and Damien Demento and all the higher end jobbers, if you will. But I want to see Steve Austin. I want to see the entire remaining contingent that's still around of DX. Can't have Rick Rude, obviously, and Chyna's too busy, getting plugged or plugging herself or whatever she's doing over there in Chinaland. But the Outlaws, Shawn. X-Pac, Hunter, Mike Tyson even, have every member of DX that can be there. Have Stone Cold there. Have the entire McMahon family, even Linda and Shane, have them come in for a big reunion. Things like that. Obviously they can't get the guys that are in TNA. That's not going to happen. You're not going to have Kurt Angle or Hulk Hogan or any of those guys on the 1000th Raw. But anybody that's not under contract to TNA or even the guys that were in WWE before that are with independent companies now, get them locked down. This is a 3-hour party. Almost 20 years in the making. Shit needs to go down. John Pereira, I hope. Sorry, John. Do you think WWE is going to make a big change when Raw goes 3 hours on July 23rd? Do you think it's just going to be an extra hour of the same stuff the company's been doing? Like I just said, they need to go out on that 3-hour Raw on July 23rd and just blow everybody out of the water and keep that pace every single week and not just get complacent. Yes, they are number one. Yes, they can do these things. But you know what? I honestly, truthfully think this 3-hour thing is going to be a huge mistake. I think it's going to be too much. I think it's going to be too overloaded, and they're going to overload it the wrong way. They're not going to fill it with more decent action. They're not going to fill it with a little mix of everything. A little bit of divas, tag teams, mid card, upper card. They're going to have a whole bunch of useless shit in the process. And if I'm wrong, then I'll be the happiest guy on the planet to be wrong. This one is from Ben Dunn. Jeff, love the show, good stuff. What do you think about Wade Barrett is in for a chance to be okay. What are Wade Barrett's chances to be WWE World Champion in late 2012, early 2013? Wade Barrett's potential is unchartable. When he comes back from injury, he's going to be set to go. And he should be champion soon when he comes back. And what are the chances of Jonathan Coachman coming back as GM for a week or permanent? Thanks from the one beast in the UK. They're bringing back everybody. Coach ran the show for a while as McMahon's executive assistant, I believe was his official title. That he was in charge of Raw. Bring him back. We talked about this when we were watching. I believe it was SmackDown the other night. You've got Regal still on payroll. You've got Foley, who they brought back. You've got Vicky Guerrero. You've got Teddy Long. You've got Coachman. You've got Shane and Stephanie that can come back and run the shows for a week. You've got so many different people.
Mike Adamle.
Mike Adamle. The one guy you definitely can't get your hands on is Eric Bischoff. But Paul Heyman ran the shows for a while. He ran SmackDown. Ric Flair, he's not doing anything. As far as we know, he's still not under TNA anymore. So Ric Flair owned Raw for a few months. You've got that. You've got so many different possibilities and combinations that this interim general manager thing could seriously help, because you bring back a lot of the old time names that you haven't seen in a while, or a guy like Regal who's languishing on NXT. Granted, he's one of the best color commentators they've got, but to have him run Raw and SmackDown for a week, oh my God, that'd be great.
Wasn't Piper commissioner for a bit?
He was president. So if they count that, yeah.
And Sarge.
Shawn Michaels. Imagine Shawn Michaels and his grandson running Raw and SmackDown. Holy crap. You've got, there's so many different people that have ran Raw and SmackDown and the WWF as commissioner or president or whatever, Steve Austin was sheriff and co-GM for a while. So I look forward to this. Should they bring Coach back? What the hell? Why not? Call ESPN and make it happen. All right, that is going to do it for this. Probably over 30 minutes altogether of After the Bell, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tomorrow, Renegade returns in its official wrestling capacity as we preview Battleground Pro Wrestling's Legion Hall of Doom Saturday night at Los Alamitos. And if you can't be there, well, that's just silly. You need to be there. RSI is going to be legendary this week, and I don't mean that in fact the show's going to be legendary because it's me and Jay. I'm not exactly the biggest legend. I think I am, but I'm not. But her and I are going to be reviewing the great John Cena movie, Legendary, the one that actually JJ can tolerate. Dad's on Wrestling. I'm going to surprise you with that topic. We'll see on Thursday. And, of course, Stat Boy on Friday. This has been After the Bell. I'll see you next week.